User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel. User joined your channel. User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Good afternoon and welcome to Talladega, Alabama, home of the Talladega Superspeedway. This afternoon we're here for the PowerTech 150. PowerTech Solutions is our sponsor from Norwalk, Connecticut. PowerTech Solutions services Westchester, Fairfield, and Putnam counties. We have a cup race here today. We have a full field of drivers and some new broadcasters here with us today. So, Law Dog, why don't you introduce our new guys in the booth and on pit road?
Absolutely, and I tell you what, it's great to be here today at Talladega Superspeedway. Lots of action to bring to the viewers here this evening. We've got Ben Kilcrest from TSTV that's joined in with us for the show. He's brought some of his guys as well with Andy, I believe, Andy Kessler, I believe that's his last name. And we've got a few other guys in here, Mr. Brian Likens, and of course TJ Gray's making a special appearance here today. Going to give us a little hand there, Wayne.
Yes, and this is going to be an exciting race. This is one of the fastest speedways on the circuit. A lot of drafting, hopefully not a lot of wrecks, but they'll reach speeds well over 200 miles an hour as they go down the backstretch and through the travels.
Get with me and Mitch.
Like you just mentioned, Talladega Superspeedway, my home track. I go just about every other race they have here in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series and even Nationwide Series in real life. But like you said, it's going to be a great race. I was talking to some of the guys a little bit earlier before the race in the chat room to the right of the live screen. And, you know, I asked, hey, are we going to see tandem racing or pack racing? And they said, we'll see a little pack racing in the early half, but watch for the tandem to kick in the later half of the race.
Well, I tell you what, guys, they're getting lined up now, and let's go down the running order for this evening's race. On the pole, we've got Rodney Kramer with a 51.056. Next, starting second on the outside pole, we got Chad Simpson, the number 42, and starting third, the number 4, Kevin Graham. Starting fourth, the number 18, Tyler Laughlin. Wayne?
Yeah, starting fifth this afternoon is Chad Osborne. Starting sixth, Mitch Lennon. Starting seventh is Brian Terry. And starting in eighth position is Marcus Miller.
Michael D'Amico on the number 62 starts on the inside of row number 5 in ninth position. 10th belongs to Philip Willis. Jared Akey is in the 11th position in the 11 car respectively, and David Washington to his outside in 12th.
Starting 13th, the number 86, William Roberts. Starting 14th, the number 12, Jade Williams. Starting 15th, number 60, Brian Neff. Starting 16th on the outside, number 51, Brian Lambert.
And starting 17th in the 14 car is James Ross. Starting 18th, Matt Hoos in the 21. Starting 19th, Eric Della Riva in the 74. And starting 20th is James Gagnier in the 05.
Steve Hansen has the inside of row number 11, starting 21st to his outside, Malik Kuntz in the number 77 car. Rudy Cummings on the inside of row number 12, starting 23rd in the 03 car, and to his outside, Ronald Henry in the number 75.
And starting 25th, the number 76, Brad Spidell. Starting 26th, number 89, Brian Wortman. That's a new name here at NoBullMotorsport. Starting 27th, number 30, Ed Hewitt. And starting 28th, number 48, Brian Likens. Of course, now I'm going to have to say I made a boo-boo there. Mr. Brian Likens is up here in the booth, so how can he be on the track at the same time, Wayne?
Well, he wishes he was on the track, but we got him he's in the pits today working, so he's pretty close to the action.
That's great. I tell you what, it's good to be back. Guys, did you have a good Christmas, good New Year's?
Had a great Christmas, great New Year's. Already losing some of my New Year's resolutions, but you know, that's all right. I don't know if Wayne or you, Rick, keep any of your New Year's resolutions. I said I was going to start going to the gym, but yeah, that hasn't happened quite yet.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, want to say hey to some of the viewers over there. Now, don't be too shy. Get logged in over here at NoBullMotorsport TV, NoBull TV. Join in on the action because we've got folks that's ready to type messages, talk to you guys, and if you got questions, hey, we're going to see them. We're probably going to ask them. Also, take a look. We've got some new overlays there for you. We got some got the shiny lights and so forth to make things really look nice and fancy. And we've had a lot of requests out there, Wayne, I believe, for that ticker. I believe we finally got it working right.
Yeah, the ticker looked really great. Plus, you got your cautions right there at the top of the screen, how many laps we've had under caution, number of lead changes, all that's available for our viewers to see. And it's like having your own little race central right there on top of the screen.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, coming around turn 4, coming down the straightaway, looks like these guys are getting ready for the action here to take place as the Ford Mustang pulls off onto pit road. Guys, we are about to go green with Rodney Kramer on the pole. On his outside, Chad Simpson. And folks, I believe the green flag is about to drop now. Green, 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 here we go.
As they roar off down into turn number 1, it takes them about a lap, a little better lap, maybe a lap and a half to get up to full song here at Talladega. These cars do run restrictor plates, and that keeps them really close together in the pack.
See a bunch of these guys already jumping down to that inside line, trying to get single file. Long race here. We have 55 laps, so we're just going to sit back, ride it until about 10 or so to go. Then you'll see these guys start getting 3 and 4 wide, but up here in the first few laps, we're just going to take it easy.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, a lot of patience is what's going to be happening here today, is seeing some of these guys being patient right now. Here in just a few, on a run down the points, but first off, I want to say hello over here to Brian Likens and Andy that's down here on pit road. Brian, you copy?
Yeah, I got you down here on pit road, Law Dog. Everybody talked about me being in the race. I figured if you want to be any closer to the action, I figured I'd throw on a helmet and step out on the track, but I kind of got pulled back behind the wall. So, you know, in my attempt to bring you better broadcasting, well, I kind of got in trouble.
Uh-oh. Well, I tell you, we have, is Andy down there? Has he got a copy?
I hear you loud and clear down here, Law Dog. This is going to be exciting. I'm down here in the beginning of pit road, and I'm excited to see if these guys can get woed up and get down to 55 miles an hour to get in these pits. So I'm ready for some action on this end of pit road.
Well, I tell you what, speaking of action, looking back up front here, it looks like Kevin Graham has got that bumper stuck right on the backside of Rodney Kramer's bumper. And those guys are right now shown to be working pretty well with each other. And it looks like that 24 of Chad Osborne, I'll tell you, he's had a good year this season so far, Wayne. A lot of close races, top 5 finisher. You know, I'm looking to see him get his first win this season.
Yeah, it's interesting. The 42 is on the outside out there. They're trying to get that outside road working, Rick. But the inside line pulls away every time they get close. They get up to about 3rd, and they seem to fall back.
Fantastic. And I tell you, Chad Simpson out there looks like he may be struggling and getting a little help from Tyler Laughlin out there on that outside, trying to make that outside work there, Ben.
Yeah, it's really tough to get the outside working here at Talladega because it is the longest part of the track. You see Laughlin pulls down and leads Simpson out to hang. That might have been planned right there. Just kind of take it easy here in the first half. But the 2 guys that have really gotten hooked up early on in this race, Kevin Graham and Rodney Kramer. Really, those are the two guys that I've seen that have been pushing the most, been able to put a slight distance between them and the rest of the field. But you see, Laughlin going to go back up to the high side in the number 18 car, and the 5 car going to try and follow him to see if they can try and work that outside line here at Talladega.
Yeah, just noticing, Rick, Brad Spadell is way back at the back running 27th on the field, and he has lost the draft of the main pack.
Oh, I tell you what, it's just not like Brad. He must be having a bad night tonight. Possibly the number 76 of Brad Spadell is possibly having some engine trouble out there. Don't know. Let's take it down to pit road and see if Brian may have caught up with his crew chief. Brian?
I caught up with Brad Spidell's crew chief just a moment ago, and it looked like on the opening lap he actually pulled down to the inside on the backstretch and kind of let the field go by. I don't know if he was trying to get to the back to avoid the big one that's eventually going to happen, but it looks more like he just lost the draft and everybody got away from him.
Well, that could have been some strategy because sometimes drivers like to lay back here, but when you don't have a drafting partner, they can pull away from you and lap you in about 10, 15 laps. So sometimes that strategy doesn't work.
That's right, and we got a
yellow
there.
flag.
Turn. Oh, we got to see. I just caught the glimpse of that.
74-03 car involved. The 06, Steve Hansen, he's sliding down. A few drivers trying to miss it.
And the 12 was involved as well. That was the little big one.
Not a good way to start off the race here on lap number 6.
I'm trying to look at the replay now and see what we've got here.
Got the replay up on TV here. If you'll take a look, yep, the car, the 92 from the bottom came up and hit the car on the outside, and that spun the 95, and then he pretty much blocked the track after that, Rick.
Oh, I'll tell you, tough break there for that 86. Looks like we got a few other cars there involved as well. I believe that's going to be William Roberts there. Man, that's a tough break. Got a pretty good hard lick there from the 06 of Steve Hansen there. Gave him a pretty good lick as well. Tell you that 05 right there done a pretty good job avoiding that, Rick. That's going to be James Goyner. Tell you what, he just went from about 175 miles an hour down to about 80, 70, 75, 60 miles an hour to avoid that accident. And, of course, got himself spun around, but kept his car safe and out of the way. All right,
like you mentioned, bad break for a few of these guys early on here in the race. Hopefully, some of the cars don't have too much terminal damage. They'll be able to get down there on pit road and beat the damage out. Got a few drivers, though, opting to take pit road.
Andy, have you got anything for us down on pit road?
Well, there's a couple of cars in here in the back. The 77, it looks like a Malik Kuntz. He's pitting. We got a whole bunch of them in the back here. It looks like most of the guys are opting just for fuel right now. A couple I got here on the right side tires. The 09, he just slid through his pits. So we're 4 tires here, 2, and a couple of guys did no tires, just fuel.
That's right, Andy. Up here at the front of pit road, everybody's taking about the same strategy. There's a few of them taking 4 tires, but not many, maybe 2 or 3 out of the top 5 at least. Most everybody's just taking some more of that Sunoco fuel and getting back out on the track.
Well, we went 7 laps before that caution came out, and these guys will get a chance. If they need to make some adjustments on their car, they can go in and make some adjustments for those running out of the top 10 or so, and maybe close the pack up when they get back to green.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, taking a look up here up front, the number 1, that is last season's champion, Phillip Willis. Here in just a few moments, we're going to see if we can't get him in the booth here, maybe talk to him, and that's Mitch Lannon that's going to take off and be the leader. Not sure if he went into pit road or not, but 2 tough competitors there running up front. Yep.
Yeah. The I don't believe the Mitch Lennon pitted the 5 car. I think he stayed out to get advantage. And how smart does Brad look now, staying back at the back, letting the field go by and avoiding that big wreck? But
Hey, well, Wayne, we're going to see if we can't dial up the number 1 car, Philip Willis. This is Ben up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Ben, go ahead.
How you doing, Philip? Early on in the race, we've already had a caution, and it's lap 6. The caution came out. In your eyes, how's the race going so far?
Up here at the front, it's pretty smooth. We're obviously we got some different pit strategy going on at the moment. We got a little bit more before we have to go in here to pit, and right now you got to keep the nose clean and try to see this thing to the end.
You mentioned strategy. You're starting second on this restart right here. Do you have any strategy leaning your way as what you're going to try and do on this restart here?
Survive.
Easy one-word answers. All right, Philip, we'll let you get back to driving that car and get these lights off on the pace car here next time by. Thank you for having time to do an interview, and good luck in the rest of the race.
10-4. Good luck.
I'll tell you what, I was able to catch up and get over here and get on the radio with Mitch Lennon. Mitch Lennon, this is Law Dog up in the booth. Have you got a copy?
Loud and clear.
Fantastic. You got that number 5 Hendricks Motor Chevrolet.com car up there up front. Now, we're going to see you lead the rest of these laps.
I don't foresee that being the case, but just stayed out because I knew I had to hit a couple more times anyway. So.
Fantastic. Well, what do you think about looking in that rearview mirror there and seeing that number 1 of Philip Willis there right behind you?
Well, he hadn't had that good of a year, so I don't know if I want to be around him.
All righty. Well, I tell you what, it's good speaking with you, and we wish you the very best of luck. We're going to get off the radio here so that way you can concentrate.
Thanks.
Hey, Brian, just looking back at the field there, Michael D'Amico's running in 4th in that 62 car. So he made it through the wreck and apparently stayed out as well to get good track position.
Well, I tell you what, lap 9, we've got, I believe this is our first caution within the race here. Guys, lots of competition here today. Anybody could win this thing.
Yeah, it's one thing.
It is restrictor plate racing. I mentioned earlier in the race, or earlier in the pre-race. It is restrictor plate racing. Anybody can win. There's just, I mean, the possibility is endless. You could have a guy coming from 20th to come and win the race, but we have a few bit of cars down on pit road, Brian.
Yeah, it looks like these guys were just coming in late, topping off, trying to get those extra few laps, maybe a little bit of strategy here. It's not that bad of a deal to start in the back because with the draft in a couple laps, they'll get up to the front. So these guys are looking just to fill up and head back out there.
And tires are not a big factor here at Talladega. The tires will last a fuel run, sometimes even 2 fuel runs. So topping off that tank is going to give them an advantage if the race stays green for some time.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brian Terry has made his way all the way up there to 3rd place. And looking at the leaderboard here, it looks like Brian Terry started out, I had my place here and I missed my place, and trying to look, see where Brian Terry actually started out at.
Brian Terry actually started in the 7th position, and like you mentioned, he's worked his way into the top 3, which is pretty good for a super speedway race, and only 6 laps before that caution came out. So we'll have to see what he has in the remaining of the race here, but the lights are off on the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. That means we're getting ready to crank these cars back up and get some more restrictor plate racing done at Talladega.
And on that front row, we got Mitch Lennon and Philip Willis. And let's see who leads this lap, guys.
User was moved to your channel.
All right, the pace car's in. and they're waiting on that green flag to wave.
Well, I tell you
Speed
what,
up. The 5 gets a jump. The green flag is out.
wow, he did get a good jump there, Wayne. That 5 machine of Mitch Lennon, real good jump there. Phillip Willis falling right in behind Brian Terry. But something that just caught my eye, old Matt, the Husinator, driving that 21 Motorcraft machine, is working his way up there. Now, here about 2 weeks ago, he had an excellent race. I believe it was going to be at Richmond, the Richmond 100 that we had.
Yeah, he's paired up with a good pushing partner there on the bottom. He's running in 5th, and they're gaining on the lead 2 cars.
Absolutely. Taking a look back there at the number 14, that is the PowerTech Power Solution, James Ross, that seems to have found himself kind of out there on that outside. Tell you what, he's going to get stuck out there, and if he gets stuck out there, he's going to fall a couple positions, but it looks like he's going to kind of just fall right there in behind. Can't catch that car number, guys. That thing went so fast. Car number 11, which is Jared Akey.
Michael D'Amico in the 62 and Phillip Willis in the 1 are on the outside. They're trying to make that outside row work. But once again, they get up to the middle of that second car in the lead pack, and it kind of stalls.
Matt Hoos and Kevin Graham, the 21 and the 4 car right there, kind of the third little tandem in that pack. They had a huge run coming out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Couldn't go anywhere because D'Amico and Willis was on the outside and Lennon and Terry were on the inside. Oh, and they almost made contact down the front straightaway.
Wow, that was close. Looks like the Matt Hoos may have touched the back bumper of Brian Terry, not in a good way, in a bad way, and we could have almost seen a big wreck there with the top 4 guys.
Yeah, they're going down the back stretch at 200 miles an hour as they dive off down into turn 3.
201 to be exact there, and I'd seen 202 right before they went into turn 3, Wayne.
Yeah, that front pack is really pulling away from the rest of the field. It's tandem racing at its best. There's 8 cars in the first little group up there, and then on back there's 4 cars that are trying to stay together to catch that lead pack.
Well, I tell you what, one of the things that I'm seeing, Mitch Lennon going into turn 1 here with Brian Terry on his rear bumper, I know that Mitch Lennon is driving very comfortable right now. He's got Brian Terry behind him that's had some really bad luck this season so far. You've got Matt Hoos is coming up on his door there with the help of Kevin Graham. Now, Kevin Graham has had a good season. Matt Hoos has kind of had some struggling races at early of the season, but ever since the Richmond race, he's really got things together and put that 21 machine up front. So right now, he's getting pressure by Kevin Graham.
And Michael D'Amico and Phillip Willis have gotten broken up, and they're spread out. We got 4 cars on the inside line and 4 on the outside, and we got a new leader.
New leader Matt Hoos there just for a few moments, but it looks like Kevin Graham wants that lead as he dives underneath Matt Hoos, but he's going to come up the track there to pick up Matt, so that way they can get that draft going down on the back stretch.
All these guys switching, really going to make it tight down the back straightaway. We're almost 3 wide, heading down into turn number 3, and while these guys are racing up here, that pack that was about a half a second behind them with Malik Coots leading them has now been able to catch up.
Yeah, now pack at the front's 10 cars, so anything happen up front, we could bend a lot of sheet metal here.
Tell you what, the last race we had back at, I want to say it was back at Pocono, Wayne. I tell you, you wouldn't believe the extra money I made. I went dumpster diving at the end of the race, but got a bunch of metal and scrap metal and so forth. Man, I tell you what, I bought my groceries for the week.
Yeah, eBay pays good bucks for that stuff.
That's right. Hey, always trying to make a dollar.
Yeah, no.
Say the 12 car just went around. Oh, man, that's going to be Jade Williams there.
It looked as if he might have had, he just hooks the rear bumper of the 51 car and smacks that outside wall.
Oh, I tell you what, that 51 car is going to be Brian Lambert, and that's one of his teammates there.
We've got a replay coming up here of that 12 and that spin. The thing about Talladega is the apron is so big here. If you spin down off the track and onto the apron and don't impede traffic, the yellow will not come out. And that's kind of bad luck for the 12 because he's going to be way behind when he gets back out of the pits.
Tough break for him there, and I guess we'll see him on pit road here in a few. So we can keep our eyes open down there on Brian Likens and Andy Kessler. Give us a pit road report as soon as they find out something.
Yeah, that 12 car took a hard lick there.
Tell you what, it looks like we're getting ready to have a new leader. Phillip Willis getting a little help from Chad Simpson there. Going to cross the start-finish line first that time. Going to end up with the lead on that lap number 18. Phillip Willis now in the lead with Chad Simpson getting the help from him from the 42 car.
Just pulled the switch. They're going to have to watch out because these guys are going to pull back up on him, and it's going to get jumbled up here at the front. They got to be easy. They're getting jumbled up.
Oh, and they're coming up on lap traffic now with, I believe that's going to be Jade Williams is going to be down on that bottom apron there as they're coming around out of turn 4.
Big back up front now.
And right after they took the lead, they had to switch because with this aero package here, the car's overheating about a lap and a half to 2 laps if you're pushing.
Oh!
So as soon as they got past up to the lead, they had to switch.
Man, I tell you what, I was looking at the 92 car as they crossed the start-finish line there, and I'm going to say that he got so close to that 21 of the Husinator, he may be missing some decals.
Yeah,
it was close enough you probably couldn't slide a piece of paper between the 2 cars. That got close down the front straightaway.
That was close.
Contact back in the pack. A car came up the middle and the red and white car was there and he bumped him as he went by. That was the 21 car, I believe.
Lucas, that's going to be the 11 car. Looks like Phillip Willis is going into the pit, guys. Brian, have you got anything on the number 1 car?
Don't have anything official just yet. It's kind of catching everybody off guard right now, but the only thing they can really think of is they're coming in for fuel. No tires required at this point, but I'll get the report and get back to you.
Fantastic.
Matt Hoos, we also touched base on him. He's in the number 21. He come down pit road. Did he miss his stall?
Yes, he missed his stall. Matt Hughes missed his stall. I think he was coming in for fuel, and he just plain flat out drove right on by it.
Oh, man, I tell you what, bad luck there for Matt Hoos. I tell you, when it comes to pit road strategy, Matt is lacking in pit road strategy. Guys, I couldn't tell you how many races.
Got a wreck at pit road entrance. Big wreck.
Big wreck on pit road entrance, guys.
Rudy Cummings, 03. 1 car sliding through the infield grass there. I saw the number 5 of Lennon go around. Brian Neff in the 60 car was around as well.
Oh goodness! It looks like I'm rewinding my replay as well. Number 4 there looks like may have been some net coating between the 4 and the 03 that got it started.
Taking a look at the replay right now. The bad thing about this is for those drivers to caution did not come out. We are still green flag racing here at Talladega.
Yeah, that track is so wide coming out of that pit road entrance, and that's where everybody ended up is down in the apron and in the pit road entrance.
I tell you what, taking a look at that replay, look real close. Maybe our LSR TV Laura Loss could put that on a replay and put it on a slow motion. You will notice
the 03 started it.
Right, you'll notice the 03 is looking at the 42 as they're coming out of turn 4. When the 42 goes high on the track, the 03 never even saw the 4 sitting there, and that's where the collision started.
And that's some bad luck for all those because the yellow didn't come out, and they're going to be way down. We're going to eliminate a lot of lead lap cars in that incident.
Tough break for many of those drivers. While all that was happening, Matt Hoos came back down. He got his fuel in.
There we are, showing it on the NoBull replay system. As you can see, there is where the contact is made, and that's all she wrote.
While all that excitement was happening down pit road, we got a car sideways down the back straightaway. That was Chad Simpson. He was trying to push the number 62 of D'Amico, and he hooked his bumper, and he kept that thing about 3 inches off the wall. He was running in the 4th position.
Oh.
As I was saying, during all that excitement, we have a new leader, Chad Osborne, at number 24, has stepped up to the plate to lead at Talladega. He's in a 3-car pack, or 3-car battle for the lead, I should say, with Malik Kuntz and Tyler Laughlin.
Well, Wayne, today might be Chad Osborne's day to clinch that title for the first win here at NoBullMotorsport.
Yes, it very well could be. If he stays out of trouble and doesn't have any bad luck in the pits, it could happen today.
Absolutely. I tell you, the Tyler Laughlin, Malik Kuntz, they're no one to be shabby about either. Those guys there are very competitive as well, so these guys will definitely have to race to the end. Nobody can call this race and say, hey, this is going to be my race today. So look forward to seeing where everyone's going to be at when that checkered flag comes out this evening.
Looks like Chad's got some, they're looking to go the outside. They tuck back in behind him, but we may see them challenge him for the lead coming out of this next turn.
Somebody's Malik Kuntz kind of getting antsy to lead a lap here.
Go with you if you want.
Tell you what, guys. Right now, everything the way it looks, there's a lot of cars spread out all across the track here. So this late accident has definitely changed the way the whole race is going to flow at this point, Wayne.
And Matt Hoos, who was running up front, is back in 25th position now, and he is way back. In fact, he's a lap down.
I tell you, I'm going to catch up over here with Brian Likens or Andy Kessler down on our pit road to maybe find out that number 1 car, Philip Willis, that went in early. How is that going to play out since the accident came out?
Well, I talked to Philip Willis's crew chief, and he said since the accident came out but there was no yellow, it might work out in their favor. They went ahead and topped off, and all the rest of these guys up in the lead pack are going to have to top off eventually. It also worked out well for Mitch Lehman. He stayed on the lead pack, and he's hooked up with a drafting partner right now. And if these guys up front start to pit, watch them, because they're going to catch him in a hurry.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, I'm hearing possibly a spinner down in the pit stop.
75 around, the 44 around, the 74 around. We've got multiple cars around down on pit road. William Roberts had a piece of it, and we have pit road calamity again.
89 pitting.
Wow. Yeah, they try to get woed up on getting into pit road from 200 miles an hour down to pit road speed, and you lock up those hot tires, man, and they'll slide. And look at on the replay there, it looks more like a demolition derby than a race to pit road.
Lots of cars piling up down there. It looks like the 75 car, actually I believe the 74 car, and that's going to be Eric Riva that actually got that, Eric Dallariva got that accident started there. He may have entered into the pit there maybe a little too fast or faster than what he thought. I don't understand what happened.
Well, the 75 just locked it up and spun, and when he did, the people behind him had to get on the binders. They started sliding, and it was just a pinball reaction after that.
I tell you what, Nanelle, I tell you, looking at the race, at some of the way these accidents have played out, we're still under green.
Yep, there's no caution flag on pit road, that's for sure. I bet those crew members down there were running for cover, though.
Oh, boy. Let's see if we can't get a story on Malik Kuntz. Malik Kuntz came in about 3rd. Andy, what happened on his pit stop, excuse me.
They came in and they just took fuel only. they wanted to get back out on that track and try not to lose as much time as some of these other guys did, especially with that spin on the entrance of pit road there.
Well, Law Dog, right now, David Washington, who started 12th in this race, has got a drafting partner, and he is currently in 3rd position.
Well, taking a look there at his drafting partner is going to be Rodney Kramer, so you're going to see those guys working closely together, but, you know, they're going to have their work cut out for them because they're trying to catch that number 42 and 18, Tyler Lofton, that's running 1st and 2nd place right now. So we got to keep an eye on those times to see if those guys are actually making leeway. Caution is needed for Washington and Kramer right now.
Well, they're actually 5 seconds back at this time, so they do need some help.
Definitely.
A bunch of drivers sitting in the cockpit right now praying for a caution because you mentioned it early, Law Dog, these guys are just spread out all around this track, and Wayne just mentioned a few seconds ago, 5 seconds is the margin of gap between 2nd and 3rd place, so caution gonna have to come out and get the field bunched back up and get all these guys up there competing for the win again.
Absolutely, and we're hearing that Mitch Lennon was about to go a lap down just a few laps ago, and now he's worked himself back up to, did you say 7th place? 7th place.
Well, when they crossed the stripe that last time, he's now in 5th place. Philip Willis is in 6th, Chad Osborne 7th, and Brian Workman is in 8th.
Definitely can see right now who's working with who out there on the track, and I don't know if that's just by choice or if it's just who they're going to have to work with for right now, but definitely seeing a caution flag come out right now, I think it would do everybody good. It'd bunch everybody back up, get some pit road strategy back in, and we got a whole new ball game.
I didn't know you were going on.
Mitch Lennon and his drafting partner there, the 6th car, their last lap was a 47.990, and they're running right at 200 miles an hour together in the draft. Let's go down to pit road to Brian.
Yeah, I just got done talking to the crew chiefs for both the number 5 of Mitch Lennon and the number 1 of Philip Willis, and talking to the crew chief for the number 5, I asked him why he decided to go ahead and hook up with the number 1, and he looked at me and gave me the weirdest look, and he said he's a 2-time defending champ. Who else would I want to hook up with? That's a pretty good answer.
Well, I'll tell you what, looking at the board here, Rodney Kramer, David Washington, they've obviously made their switch. Now, a little earlier, they were 4.923 seconds behind Chad Simpson. Now they're 4.025 seconds behind Chad Simpson. These guys are getting there.
And we're over halfway through the race. We're on lap 32 now, so we're past the halfway point. And at the rate they're gaining, they could catch the leaders because they're up front switching positions now to get cooled off.
Absolutely, and like I say, 24 laps to go. We've had 1 caution for 3 laps with 11 lead changes, Wayne. 11 lead changes. You guys think that number is going to change again before it's over with?
I think so, and still got 20 cars on the lead lap, Rick.
What do you think, Ben?
You know, with the way it's running right now, we will see more lead changes because the guys up front have to switch here and there. But to tell you what, Rick, I've been watching this group back here. The 05 is leading it at the moment. Pushing him is a 51 of Brian Lambert. There's a nice little pack going on right here. And I think if we're going to see any trouble on the racetrack, it might come from these guys right here because these guys have really been getting antsy in the past few laps. I've been watching down the back straightaway. You can see them weaving and bobbing. This is a good 7 to 8 car group back here, so we'll have to keep an eye out on these guys as well as the guys up front.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, taking it down to the pit road down there to Brian Likens and Andy Kessler, the question that I have, because we've had so much action going on so far right now, Ben and Wayne, has Chad Simpson and Tyler Laughlin took their pit?
Yes, they did. They did come in and take fuel. They did not take tires. That is why they are out front at the moment. So they saved a lot of time, especially with all those guys spinning on pit road entrance. So they did pit. They did take some fuel, but fuel only.
Okay. Big question is, are they going to have enough to get the rest of the way if they've topped off enough, or is it going to be close? So that's something that we'll just have to wait to see.
I'm guessing they're probably going to have to make one more splash for gas. You can go about 60 laps here at Talladega without changing tires, so if they take good care of those tires, I think they can make it. Yeah, the pack back there, I think one car just hit the wall in that group running in the second time.
They were 3 wide there for a moment, really getting squirrely. Looks as if Lambert in the 51 car now somewhat leading that pack with James Gunner right behind him in the 05. Every lap or so, when the guys up front switch to guys behind them, will catch up to them, and it gets pretty interesting back here.
There was lots of action all around this track here this evening, and again, it's still anybody's race. Now, looking at the board now, David Washington and Rodney Kramer, this may have happened during a switch. Now that lead is opened up on the tail end of Chad Simpson is about 7.065 seconds. So those guys are definitely getting those cars around here a little bit faster than it was a few laps ago.
Yeah, Brian, I just noticed that William Roberts in that 86 car is on pit road, and he may be done for the day. He's got some heavy damage to the left front.
Well, we'll have to definitely catch up with the pit road guys and see what's going on there and if he is out for today. But I tell you, like to run down a few points here while we've got just a few minutes. 24 just pitted. All right, Brian, have you got some on pit road?
Yeah, watching the gentleman come through the pit road, and right now, some of them are taking right side tires. I've only seen 1 or 2 take tires, but everybody's taking fuel. It's probably a good strategy. I doubt they're taking full loads. They're probably going to take just enough to top it all off to get to the end. But 2 tires for some, no tires for most.
Well, it's definitely going to boil down to the last few laps like we've been saying from the beginning of the race. Taking it from the point standings right now, we've got David Washington that's in the lead with 25 points above Eric Dallariva. And second place, of course, belonging to Eric Dallariva. Third place, Brad Spidell. Fourth, belonging to Rodney Kramer. Fifth place, Chad Osborne. And we have a tie for sixth place between Mitch Lennon and Brian Lambert, with James Gorner coming in right now at 8th place in our points, 9th to Philip Willis, and the top 10, Michael D'Amico. So close points battle that we've got going on there.
Dellariva sitting in second. He is really going to take a, I lost my word, but he's going to take a fall in the points. He's back in 26th position, 10 laps down, involved in that early crash that brought the caution out. So he's not going to be a good point stay for him, but Andy, we have the leaders coming down on the pit road.
Yeah, these guys are coming down pit road right now, and they're hopefully making their last stop. The crew chiefs have been telling the fuel guys, make sure you pack them full. They want to make sure they make it to the end and don't have to pit again. So all the leaders, they're in right now, and they're all just taking fuel only.
Here we go. Yeah, on this end of pit road, I'm seeing it too. The 6, the 42, the 10, everybody fuel only, no tires. They are packing it full to get to the end.
Well, that was the question we had earlier. Who has enough fuel to get the distance? I believe this is going to get them the rest of the way that they need to go to clinch that, as far as going the full distance, having a fuel cell full of fuel. Brad Spidell up in the lead with Kevin Graham right behind him.
Go down to Brian. I don't believe anybody taken tires in this last stop.
Wayne, looks like Goodyear's saving some money or not making their money today, because no one took tires on that last stop. No right side onlys, no little trickery, no nothing. They were just taking fuel only. All the Goodyear stayed behind the wall.
Well, Goodyear builds a great tire here, and it'll go 60-plus laps. So to catch those leaders, that was a gamble that they had to take.
Well, I'll tell you what, taking a look up here at the front, Kevin Graham has got a good draft going with Brad Spidell. Now, the question is, when was the last time Brad Spidell went in, and does he have enough fuel to finish the race? If so, Kevin Graham and Brad Spidell has got a pretty good little lead over Malik Kuntz right now with 8.213 seconds, with Tyler Lofton falling in there at 11.476 seconds. So right now those guys should be pretty comfortable.
And our leader, Brad Spidell in the Ford, just switched. And every time you switch here to cool your car off, that lets the people behind you catch up a little bit.
Can't quite recall when Spidell in the 76 and Graham in the 4 last pitted, but like you mentioned, Rick, they might have to come down again and their whole strategy could go out the window.
Yeah, that's right. Tell you what, those guys just making a switch, got a smooth switch there that they've got going on. These guys right here, I tell you, speaking of Kevin Graham has just done a phenomenal job this season in Cup Series. A lot of guys respect him. Very good driver, very clean driver. Brad Spidell, he is the man with no words to speak. But I tell you what, he's been with NoBullMotorsport for quite some time now. Awesome driver. I've had the opportunity, Wayne, to do some side-by-side racing with Brad Spidell, and I tell you, it's got to be some of the funnest racing I've done yet. When I see Brad in front of me or trying to challenge him for a spot, you can take a car in a corner and you know he's going to hold his line and drive you clean.
Yeah, the person in that pit stop series that got really hung out to dry was Malik Kuntz in the 77. He's running in third, 9 seconds behind that lead pack of Kevin and Brad, and he has no help.
I tell you what, if he doesn't have any help, he's going to have to find some help because he's going to definitely need it to catch these guys up front.
He and Rodney were running together. I don't know what happened on pit road, but Rodney's 16, almost 17 seconds behind the leaders.
Yeah, a bunch of, like we talked about earlier, pit stops would be everything here at Talladega, and these guys just have to get on and off pit road together if they want to keep their partner. If not, and we've got the leaders coming down pit road right now, Brad Spidell and Kevin Graham, 4 and 76. Andy, they coming down to you?
Yep, they're heading this way. Their last stop of the day to pick up fuel. They probably aren't taking any tires. That's what I've heard over the radio. But they did say that they were coming down in 5 laps, and that's right about this time. So they're looking for fuel only and head back out and hopefully keep this lead.
I was looking at the speed gun when Kevin came in. He wanted to make sure he wasn't speeding. He crossed the line at 47. Whoa, yellow flag is out, guys. We have a crash somewhere.
Oh, man.
44 car is around off of turn number 4. That's Marcus Miller. See if we can't get a replay up and see what happened here. Oh, man, we had a big pack running together. It looks as if 44 cut across the nose of another car there.
Matt Hoos was involved. The 21 was involved.
Oh, I think that's going to be the 75 of Ronald Henry there, Wayne. Those paint schemes look very close with each other. I believe that's going to be Ronald Henry.
Okay, got the replays up. Let's see if we can see what happened. Yep, the 44 was right behind in front of the 75, and he either touched him or net code. I believe he touched that left rear quarter panel of the 44. That's came across the back of him and spun.
Well, Wayne, I don't know about you, but I've got a feeling in my mind that this might get a little bit more exciting.
Well, I'll tell you what, the excitement has been here all day. It's just all around the racetrack. It's just tough to watch everything all at one time. But I'm like you, though, Ben. We've been talking about a caution flag coming out today. And right here at lap 45 with only 55 laps with, only 11 laps to go, man, it's about to get interesting.
Yeah, when the 44 and the 75 got together, Matt Hoos was behind them, and he did get into the wall and did spin in that wreck, Rick.
Yep, I did see that.
Lee Kuntz, was the leader.
Rick, who are you going to have him dragged out?
He's heading down pit road. He's made his stop. Brian, what's happening with Malik Kuntz?
Yeah, I just talked to his crew chief, heard over the radio. They're just taking fuel only. There are no tires. They're just going to go in, top off, and get back out just in case they couldn't make it.
You know, Rick, I don't know if I can agree coming in from the lead, but if I was further back in the pack and I was getting somewhat close on gas, this caution would be a perfect time to come in and just top off just for that extra security of knowing that I could be able to make it to the end.
Yeah, and the good thing is, we're going to have less than 10 laps to go when we go back green, so this is going to be a sprint race, guys.
It is. It's going to be definitely a sprint race with Washington leading the points right now and sitting up front. While you guys are talking, I'm going to see if I can get a hold of Mr. Washington.
While he's getting
David Washington
up on the radio. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ben, if you got it. Go ahead, take it.
David Washington and Ben Kilcrease up in the booth. You're sitting in the lead right now. How's it feel to be leading at Talladega?
Well, at the beginning there, my car wasn't really going anywhere. I didn't know what was going on, and
wrong button.
I just basically need to stay tucked up behind somebody.
David Washington, have you got a copy?
Sorry, wrong button.
Sorry about that, David. I know that all those buttons get confusing down there in the car. I want to know how it feels to be leading in the Cup race at Talladega.
Feels good right now. I didn't want to see the caution, but was having trouble at the beginning with trying to catch up with the draft. It would stay right there, then wouldn't close up. Did the pit, then it started closing up. It was fine. So I'm hoping it stays fine now.
David, you're in the points lead. As far as the end of the race goes, do you push and try to get the win, or do you kind of fall back in points race here?
No, I'm definitely points racing. I'm not taking any chances at all.
All right, sounds great. We thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I know you're busy in the cockpit down there. We wish you the best of luck in the final laps.
Thank you.
David Washington, driver of the number 10, currently leading here at Talladega Superspeedway as we wait to get these lights off on the speedway. Rick, you going to dial somebody up?
Absolutely, and I tell you what, I was able to dial in Mr. Rodney Kramer. Rodney, this is Law Dog up in the booth. Have you got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead, Law Dog.
Rodney, I tell you, we've been watching you up here today. Strong Ford that you've got running out there, getting ready to battle it out with Mr. David Washington. Now, you're sitting right now in fourth in the points. Washington sitting first in the points. Whose race is this going to be today?
Well, since that caution come out, I'm not sure, really. Anything could happen, but I like to think that I can get this Ford Fusion up front.
Fantastic. Now, I tell you what, is there any little secrets that you got under your sleeve there that you're not telling us? Because you sound awfully calm right now.
No, nothing special.
Now, I tell you what, when you guys take the green, now you're going to have Tyler Laughlin that's going to be right on your left rear quarter panel when you guys get ready to go in there and turn one. Looks like Mitch Lennon is going to be right on your back bumper. Any strategy out there?
Well, I draft well with about everybody, so Mitch and me, I could, Mitch could push me, but Dave might come up, and we've been drafting well together all race, so we'll have to see.
Fantastic. Well, I tell you what, we wish you the best of luck. Hope to see you in victory lane, and good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Rick, while you were doing the interview with the 6 car, the Philip Willis in the one car pitted, topped off with fuel. He's running 18th. He's the last car on the lead lap. And he was leading this race earlier right up in that front pack. So he's got his work cut out for him.
Well, definitely a lot of these guys are going to have their work cut out for them there, Wayne. And I believe we're going to catch up with Tyler Laughlin. I believe he's going to speak to you. Let me see if I can get him there, Wayne.
Hey, Tyler, this is Wayne up in the booth. You got a copy?
10-4-1.
Well, on the restart, you're going to be starting third there. We just talked to Dave Washington. Said he was points racing. He wasn't going to take any chances. So you might have a chance to take that 18 to the front.
Yeah, I'm going to try here. I know Dave and Rodney are going to be hooking up here on this restart because they've been working together all race. But I got Kevin Graham right here behind me, and me and him got a game plan here for the last 8 laps.
Well, did you take tires on the last stop or fuel only?
I got fuel only, and I should be good. I was good with about 1 lap left in it.
Well, very good. Well, good luck the rest of the race, and hope you bring that 18 to victory lane.
10-4. Thanks, Wayne.
Wow, I tell you what, Wayne, did he just say that he may have enough for one lap left?
Yeah, he says he's got one. Sound like he said 1 spare lap of fuel. So we'll have to wait and see.
It could get interesting.
It's going to get interesting. Let's hope he's good at math.
Well, he probably short pitted because he's running on the apron. You know that pickup's in the right side of that fuel tank. And if you've got low gas, you don't want to be up on that banking where that gas will run down. He is on the apron now.
Got to save every little bit of gas that you can here in Talladega because, like you said, gas pickup on the right side. And when you're on these banks, all that gas will run to the left, but the lights are off on the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. It's about ready to make that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. It is down. We've got 7 laps to go here at Talladega. 7 lap shootout. We're going to go back racing.
But just as David said, he and Rodney were going to get together, and that 10 jumped out front. The 6 is right behind him. But let's see what happens behind him. That's where the race is going to be, I think.
Well, I tell you what, looking back here toward the back, Spidell looking on the outside there in about the middle of the corner. I was thinking that Mitch Lennon was going to go wide, but looks like Laughlin ditching on the inside there to get around Lennon. And of course, like he said, him and Kevin Graham has got a game plan, so let's see what it's going to be as Chad Simpson pulls up to the back bumper of Mitch Lennon.
Through 3 and 4. Kramer and Washington pulled at least a 5-car length ahead of Laughlin and Graham as they head down the front straightaway. About 5-car lengths separate the first, second, and third little tandem here as we come to 6 to go.
Kevin Graham is really pushing, and they're closing on that lead pack. Will they move outside, or they just stay on the bottom and wait for them to switch and then maybe try to go under them?
Well, like you guys said, 2, 2, and 3 now, Ben. And it looks like Spidell is kind of falling out of that draft there. So we're going to have a 2, 2, and 2 race here up front. And I tell you what, looking at the board here, these guys are all very competitive. So it's going to get rough and tough as they're going to scrape bumpers and wipe off the decals on each other's vehicles.
We can see them 3-wide tandem racing. And Mitch Lennon coming up. He's got help from Chad Simpson.
Here we go. We got 4 laps left. We've got all 6 cars piled up front up there. We got 2 on the outside, 4 in line right there. Who's going to get the draft as they come off turn 2 down the backstretch?
Dave Washington staying right down that yellow so nobody can get under him. The 6 cars peeking out to get a little bit of air. You don't want to switch here unless you just have to.
Doesn't quite look, and we talked about it earlier, Laughlin and Graham up on that high side. We mentioned it earlier, when they hit, it seems like when they get dead even with Kramer, that's when it seems to just stop their momentum. But through the tri-oval, that nice little run going on as we come to 4 to go at Talladega.
kind of surprising me they're not trying to pinch him down and get a little bit of side draft off that lower run. But they're out there on the outside, that they're dropping back a little bit now as they go down into the turn.
Tell you what, it looks like they're making that outside work, but as we've heard, we got a bunch piling up right there in the middle behind this action here. And it looks like we've got a good race going on back here toward the middle of the pack. I believe it's going to be the 24 of Chad Osborne there. It's going to be leading that middle pack.
Switch up front for the lead between Kramer.
They're all stacking up.
Stacking up here through the tri-oval.
Well, the 18 and the 4 have switched as well. They're still on the outside trying to make it happen out there. So maybe Tyler's going to give the 4 a push and see if they can go a little quicker with him out front.
Tell you what, it looks like Graham is kind of slowing Tyler down there a little bit on that outside. Chad Simpson falling off the draft of Mitch Lennon. That's going to spread things out. You got 3 cars up front now, 3 toward the back. It's becoming a 3-3 race, guys.
Never seen a 3-car tango at Talladega, but it looks as if that's what's happening between Lennon, Washington, and Kramer. And then if you go on further back, you have Graham, Laughlin, and Simpson all tangled up right there. And while these guys are racing hard up here, that big second pack is catching them. But at the line this time, we've got 2 to go.
And the leader is still the 6 car. They're on that bottom. Rodney's not going to let anybody get under him. Can they stay there? I think they can go the last 2 laps without switching. So hope they don't blow up.
Mitch Lennon looking real wide there, going across the yellow line, taking a look on that inside and says, "Oh no, I better not try that." With Graham and Laughlin still running and trying to make that high side work for those guys, catching the tail end of Mitch Lennon there. Now we've got a train wreck coming up on the right-hand side there. Laughlin and Graham still trying to make that outside work.
White flag is in the air. Can Graham and Laughlin do anything? They got a good run as they head down into turn number 1.
Last lap, there it is. You got Rodney Kramer leading David Washington right behind him. Graham and Laughlin on the outside getting a good run on the back stretch there. Mitch Lennon still falling in behind, watching and seeing what's going to take place before turn 3.
They're coming on the outside.
Laughlin, Graham, they're side by side. Washington gets a little bit separated. Kramer in the middle of the corner, 2 by 2 as they head out of turn number 4, coming to the checkered.
Coming down toward the checkered flag. Looks like the 4 car has got a slight edge. The 4 is Kevin Graham is in front. The 10's pushing. Wow. Split at the line, and the winner by 55 hundredths of a second is Kevin Graham. Second place, Rodney Kramer. Tyler Laughlin third. David Washington fourth, and Mitch Lennon in fifth.
What a race,
between
guys.
second and third was 2 1,000ths of a second.
What a race. That was pretty intense, and I tell you what, I am sure right now there is some hearts thumping and some hands aching gripping that steering wheel.
Wow. I'm speechless. That was a heck of a race between... Man, Laughlin did a good job pushing Graham up on the high side. We haven't seen the high side come into play until the final lap, and that's when it counted. And Laughlin really, Graham really has to give it to Laughlin, pushing him across the line.
And first to third, 57 hundredths of a second. You can't see that.
Maybe I looked at my relative wrong.
All right, let's. We got a replay here of the finish as they come down out of turn 4. We're going to look at it at slow-mo as they come to the stripe. You know, David Washington was leading a lap ago, but here they come. And, of course, Tyler went to the outside of Kevin to try to get some draft to get that second spot. But Rodney Kramer ended up second, Tyler Laughlin third, David Washington fourth. Mitch Lennon was fifth. Going through the top 10, Chad Osborne was 6th. Michael D'Amico finished up in 7th with Chad Simpson 8th, James Gunnier 9th, and Brad Spadell, who was running at the back of the field at that early start. He finished in 10th position.
All in all, a great race here at Talladega. We had some problems with the pit stops throughout the middle of the race, but when it came down to the end, we had that late caution with 8 to go, and then it all bunched the field up, and then it made a heck of a race at the finish.
Well, we're going to try to get Kevin Graham, our winner, up in the booth with us, and his probably drinking buddy tonight is going to be Tyler Laughlin, because Tyler in that 18 pushed him out front to get the win.
Well, I tell you what, Wayne, right now it looks like Kevin Graham is just getting showered with some champagne over there, but I believe we're going to throw the mic down to Brian Likens. He's caught up with Dave Washington right now as they're getting his car lined up on the scales there, and Brian Likens can interview there Dave Washington.
Hey, Dave Washington, this is Brian Likens in the booth. How you doing?
Pretty good, yourself?
Oh, not too bad. That was a heck of a race there at the end, pushing the number 6 turn towards the end. Did you really think that the 4 and the 18 were going to catch you guys running that outside line?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, did you? I saw the switch that you guys pulled there. Did you really think you had room to get back in behind him? Because it looked like they were trying to slam the door on you hard.
Yeah, we've been working on that, switching so much in other races and stuff. And we just got it down to where I know when I'm clear of him. He's a little bit more hesitant, but it still works out good. I just switch a lot quicker than he does.
Well, you took that NoBull Chevy. You took that NoBull Chevy deep in that run. Unfortunately, the number 4 outran you, but one of the closest finishes I've ever seen. The differential between second and third was 0.02 of a second. Is this the type of racing do you prefer, or do you prefer the short track to medium track racing? Do you like running these tandems?
Yeah, I'm fine. The guys that was up front there, that was perfect plate track racing for being in the pack, and I couldn't ask for anything better.
All right, Dave. Well, you did a hell of a job tonight, and thanks for talking with us. And go enjoy your time off. You've earned it.
Hey, thank you.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey Tyler, this is Andy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Andy.
So I had quite an interesting race. A lot of guys spinning out on pit road, some pit road issues. Overall, what do you think of your race for yourself?
Kevin Graham.
I thought it was really good. At the start, it was pretty clean and spread out for most of the part, but me and Chad seemed to be pulling away there on the long green run. But then he got a speeding penalty during green flag pit stops, which I thought I was done for because I didn't see a caution coming out in the near future. But then a caution came out there with about 12 to go, and that saved me probably from losing the race. And I got caught up with the guy I intended to work with at the end of the race, which was Kevin Graham, and all the way down to the checkered flag, me and him had a game plan to swap with about 4 to go, and I'm glad I could push him all the way to the win.
Yeah, it was definitely a good tandem you guys had. Trying to make that whole outside line work on that restart wasn't quite working, but that last lap it sure seemed to work. Any idea why, or do you think just right time, right place, and the right air, I guess?
Well, whenever I seen Dave and Rodney switch, I told Kevin, let's switch right now. And whenever we got to the back of the pack, I was pushing Kevin, and I could tell my car was going to start overheating before we got to the finish. So I backed off just enough time for that one last lap push all the way to the checkered. And whenever I got right to his bumper, I was already started to blink coming out of turn 2. And I just stayed on it all the way to the finish, and I knew Dave was going to be overheating, so I could see he was trying to peek his nose out down the backstretch. And whenever he peeked his nose out, they lost a lot of speed, and me and Kevin just right place, right time, I guess.
All right, well, thank you, Tyler, and I'm sure Graham's got something for you, maybe a beer or something for that push. Thank you.
Thanks.
User was moved to your channel.
All right, guys, it looks like our Ben Kilcrest is caught up with a second place guy there, Rodney Kramer. Ben, I'm going to pass the mic down to you.
Thank you there, Long Dog. Down here with Rodney Kramer coming home literally a blink of an eye from winning this race at Talladega. Rodney, you had a good race overall. How does it feel to lose it by literally a blink of an eye?
Well, it's pretty depressing. I ain't gonna lie. I had a really strong Ford Fusion tonight, and me and David drafted really well together all night, and my gauges were blinking with 3 to go, and I told Dave, I said I have to switch, and if I could have made it one more lap, I think what cost us was Dave got hot there going into 3 or down the backstretch on the final lap, and he had to get off my back end there a little bit. But overall, good run for the Ford Fusion EcoBoost.
Mentioned on that last lap, David overheating just a little bit. Was there anything that you could have done differently throughout the race, or maybe on that final restart, to maybe get you in a better position to be in victory lane tonight?
No, I don't think I could have done any more different than what we had strategy to do, and Kevin Graham and Tyler did a heck of a job. Congrats to Kevin.
Sounds great. That's Rodney Kramer's second place tonight. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank, Rodney?
Yeah, I'd like to thank NoBull. Thank you guys for televising and broadcasting these races. You guys do a great job. And Power Tech Solutions for sponsoring our series, and all the fans out there that are watching. Thank you.
Sounds great. Rodney Kramer coming home 55 thousandths of a second, just behind Kevin Graham. I'm going to send it now over to Wayne Finley. He's down there in victory lane. I think he's looking more champagne off his face than he is trying to get an interview with the winner.
Yes, I'm going to definitely have to take a shower after this one, but we've got Kevin Graham, our winner, here in the booth with us. Kevin, fantastic race. Tell us about those last 2 or 3 laps.
Well, I'll tell you what. First of all, I couldn't have done it without Tyler pushing me there. We got a hell of a run there at the end, and just got me barely by Rodney, and got the win. I hope it was as good for the fans watching, because it was intense in the behind the wheel.
Yeah, it was really great. When you switched on lap 52 and Tyler started pushing you, it was like you got a little bit more speed there, but you got to the front, and that Break It Down Design Chevrolet is the victor today at the Talladega PowerTech 150. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. I gotta thank Tyler for helping me out, pushing me there. We worked real well in practice, knew we were going to be fast, and that was pretty much his idea there with lap 52 to switch, because I was going to try and push the rest of the way, but I'm glad that we switched there. So might have not made it, but yeah, I got to thank him. I got to thank the guys at Break It Down Designs. I don't know, I'm out of breath, but I'm going to go party it up Brad Keselowski style.
Well, there you go. Congratulations, Kevin. Great race, and we look forward to seeing you at the next race.
All right, thanks a lot.
Well, folks, that was our winner of the PowerTech Solutions 150 here from Talladega. And Rick, you want to wrap it up in the booth there?
Absolutely, and I tell you what, we appreciate the fans showing up here. Excellent race we had here today, and make sure to join us here at NoBull TV for next week's race of it's going to be the New Hampshire 80 laps, and definitely want to thank our production team, LSR TV, Laura Lawson, and she's had a little help tonight with Stephanie Lessentine, and definitely want to thank some of our new guys that's come over and helped join in with the action with Ben Kilcrease, and of course Andy Kessler. Brian Likens, we always like it when Likens shows up. I tell you, it's just a mouthful there, Wayne. And, of course, we definitely want to thank Wayne for being here this evening. Excellent show we had.
It was a great race. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time for PowerTech Solutions Sponsors Race here on LSR TV.